Lebanon's humanitarian crisis is getting worse with every passing day. Around 1 million people have been displaced since the Israeli bombardment began. The situation is particularly acute in the south, where Israeli bombing is most intense. Our news editor, Roshan Mohammed Saleh, is currently in Lebanon. He sent us this report from the country's south, where aid agencies are predicting an imminent disaster.
The Lebanese call this the Road of Death, the main route to the country's south, where hundreds of thousands of refugees are fleeing Israeli bombardment. The few that chance it say their prayers while travelling on this road, fearful of being picked off by one of the many Israeli drones that patrol the skies overhead. As we made stumbling progress, we saw evidence of Israeli bombardment everywhere, the craters in the highway, the bombed-out bridges, and the lack of cars on what was once one of the country's busiest routes. All this makes the supply of aid to Lebanese refugees a nightmare.
This road is from Beirut to Saida, and now we have to pass through 2.5 hours almost. And through that road, through the mountains, no big trucks can pass through. So the aid takes about several days to get from Beirut to Saida, or even to the south is much more difficult. And from here to Beirut to almost Sur, which take about 1 hour and something in normal situation on the beach or shore road, it takes now almost about 7 hours with the UN.
Saida is one of Lebanon's most historic towns, 40 kilometers south of Beirut. It's home to 90,000 Palestinian refugees who live in an overcrowded and insalubrious camp called Ain al-Hilwa. They've traditionally been viewed with suspicion by many Lebanese and denied government work and citizenship. But in recent weeks, their numbers have been swollen by more than 100,000 Lebanese refugees from the south, something that may improve community relations in this notoriously divided country. This handicapped man fled his village in the south after the bombing got too intense. His son still calls out for his mother, who was left behind. Their plight is typical of thousands who face an uncertain future.
جينا لأنه صارت الضيعة كتير معرضة للقصف، صار أطفالنا كتير تضايقت من الصواريخ والضرب صارت على البيوت وما عادش في شيء مأمن للأطفال، فعشان لهالسبب هيدا نحن طلعنا، بس إنه أطفالنا كتير تضايقت من الغذاء من كل شيء، بطل في شيء بقلب الضيعة لحتى لي هالولد يكون مأمن له كل شيء. هالسبب اللي طلعنا فيه، وكان الضرب كتير قاسي على الضيعة وعلى الطرقان، وجينا تحت الضرب وصلنا لهون نحن تحت الضرب، وصلنا بالليل على مخيم عين الحلوة الساعة 9:30. كان الشعب كتير هون استقبلنا وكتير أمنونا كل شيء.
There are few aid agencies working in Saida compared to the dozens taking care of the needy in Beirut. The Qatari Red Crescent is preparing the town's ramshackle hospital so that it can cope with the increased demand. And the British charity Interpol is supplying this clinic in Ain al-Hilwa with funds so that it can treat traumatized and injured refugees. But many experts feel that humanitarian workers in the south are just papering over the cracks, while the politicians fail to put enough pressure on Israel to stop its brutal attack on Lebanon's civilian infrastructure.
Here, the problems of the food distribution, the problems of medication, lack of medication, problems of the hospitals, as I told you, with the fuel and generators issues, all of it is much more prominent than in Beirut itself. As I told you, because most of the organization trying to seek safe area. I only here, for example, in Saida, I saw MSF working here, and we are the Qatari Red Crescent, almost the two organizations that work in the medical field here in the south.
The humanitarian crisis in Lebanon is going from bad to worse. Money is pouring in from all around the world, and more is on its way. But getting aid to the refugees is enormously difficult, and the people around here know who's to blame for that: the Israelis. Roshan Mohammed Saleh, Islam Channel News, Saida, Lebanon.
Shortly after Roshan's visit to the Ain al-Hilwa Palestinian refugee camp, an Israeli missile attack on the camp killed 4 people, including an orphan. Several others were injured. The United Nations